Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio, and it is time for this week's Color Combo 2024. Thanks for joining me today. I hope everyone had a great weekend and you're having a great start to your week. I have some things cut out for this week's combo, which is the shape of a keyhole in the color of teal or aqua. And we're going to start these last 4 weeks of the color combo challenge, and then we're going to move on to something else. And I do have something, an idea for something, so I hope you guys will join me for that as well, which I will in a couple of weeks kind of give you a clue into what it's going to be. So if you do choose to participate, then you can get some stuff together for what we're going to do. So for the teal and keyhole combo, I have this. It's just Mente scrapbook paper, and it's music on both sides. And I think this is from, it's called like Basic Backgrounds or something like that. And I just kind of folded it not quite all the way in half, so that it has like a little tab sticking up here, because I want to put this paper in as a journal card. And it is double-sided, but I think that's light enough to write on, so I'm not going to back it. And I'm going to trim this down so that it will stick out the top of this and give us a little bit more of the teal color. So let's trim that first. This is not going to be a real difficult make by any means. It's going to be colorful, and it's going to be very how do I want to say it, busy. It's going to be busy, but I think in the end it's going to turn out looking pretty cute. So that's going to be my journal card, and see the color, how the colors are just kind of sticking out the top. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to round all these corners. I think I will, because I think it'll make it look more finished. Where's my... I'm going to round the front two, and then I'm going to round the two on the card. And I'm not going to glue this shut, because I want it to look kind of like a file folder. So I don't want it to be glued shut like a pocket. So I'm just like that is all I want. Okay, now what I have is I'm going to do kind of a collage down at the bottom. And I'm going to take this paper, which is the coordinating paper to the colors in this, and I'm going to put it right down here in the corner. Like that. I just kind of tore a piece off. And I have some German book page that I'm going to put on here. And I have this little doily thing that I cut out of a Tim Holtz with a Tim Holtz die cut. It's out of this one, which is one of the ones you just bring out of the vault. He just bring out of the vault. He just brought out of the vault. The number is 666607, and I got mine at scrapbook.com. So I'm going to put that there, and then I want these flowers to kind of stick out from behind. Not a whole lot, but I'm kind of going for the secret garden kind of thing with my... Do I want it to be... I might even want it to be like this. Let me get my other pieces on here. I have another piece of teal that I'm going to run across here. And I think I want my German book page here. And then I have these pieces. Hopefully this will all make sense once I get it put together here. So these pieces are going to go across. I'm trying to portray kind of like an iron gate. And this is just, it was an embossing folder, you know, something done with an embossing folder, and I watercolored it. And it has kind of this gunmetal metallic-y look to it. And this was at the top, and then this border was around, and I cut it apart and made different parts. So I want that to go like that, I think. And then this is my keyhole, which is obvious, but I couldn't think of anything else. I made these this morning with I had this Prima mold, and you can see I have made several of them, but I did this one in black. It's this Prima mold and my glue gun, and I just filled the molds up with glue. You can see they're hot glue, and let them dry, and then I painted them with acrylic paints and Tim Holtz crayons, and I think they came out really cool. So I have several of these molds that I would use when I was redoing furniture. I've got a bunch of squirrely bits and things, different things, and so I thought I would try glue gun in them, and they work perfectly. So yeah, think about that if you you know, want some dimensional pieces. I mean, they are thick, and they would probably be better on covers, but I can imagine that you could take some of the squirrely things and put them like in the corner of a cover, or like this where a closure would be. And I have glued a piece of black cardstock on the back. It's actually a hole like these. There's actually a hole there, so you could put a ribbon or something through there and attach it, and I think it would be a really cool closure. So keep that in mind. And I did do this darker because since we're doing the keyhole, I want it to be the focal point, obviously. And then I've got this little bird that I'm going to put on here. And then somewhere that I hope I didn't lose, which I can get another one, but I have one of Amy's keys that I'm gonna put in its feet, like it's bringing the key to the lock. I've got this one. This isn't the original one I had. Amy with Cracked Cat is who I'm referring to. She has these little die-cut keys that she cuts out of her Glowforge, and you can order them. But I'm going to put that in its feet, kind of like that. So that's my plan. So let's get gluing all that together and see if we can get it to come together correctly, if I can remember. So the dolly needs to come down first. Now, since I wasn't exposing the whole thing and I was only exposing part of it, I didn't go through and poke out each one of these. I just did this on like the kids' drawing paper because I wanted it to be something, you know, fairly soft, like it was a cloth dolly almost. So it is, all those little holes didn't get poked out, and I'm not gonna sit and try to poke them all out because, like I said, I'm not using the whole dolly anyway. So I'm just gonna turn it to where most of them got poked out and have that part showing. I will say that this does not cut fragile paper very well, so I would suggest, you know, a thicker paper than one I used. But unless you're going to do like I do and you're just going to use part of it, then I think you'll be all right. So I am going to ink everything up real quick, and I'm using gather twigs to ink. And on these flowers, I'm just worried about getting the little white bits that hang on when you poke them out of the cardboard that they come in. Oh, I'm going to lose that key again. That's not the same one I had, but that one will work. I'm sure the other one is right there. There we go. See, it was on my black glass mat and I couldn't see it till I rubbed my hand around my mat. Let's ink my little bird up. Okay, and I think I'll ink the decisions. I think I'm going to ink these gate pieces up, which aren't really gate pieces, but that's what we're going to call them, in black soot. Oh no, I'm going to use scorched timber. Is what I'm going to use. Yep. And this was originally like a manila colored paper. Oops. Yeah, I was originally trying to think of something besides just an obvious keyhole, but then I found that mold when I was looking to try to figure out what I was going to do, and I thought, okay, this is good time as any to try it out and see if it works, and it does work wonderfully. So that made me quite happy. And I'm going to go just a little bit heavier on the actually embossed parts and get those to stand out just a little bit more on that piece especially. The watercolor did a pretty good job on these other pieces. Almost there, guys. Okay, let me switch back to the gathered twigs. Get my book page. I hope I have enough light in here. My glare is kind of funky today. It's sunshiny outside, but it's clearing off my glass weird. So I think it's because it's later in the day than I normally record. I keep saying record videos, so the sun's in a different place in the sky, and I think that's what's causing it. Okay, now, oh, I didn't do all the way around this, did I? So like I said, this is just going to be a card, just how it is, because I do feel like you can write on the back of that, and this is just going to be a folder, just how it is. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a tab on this as well, or you could cut like a file folder tab on it, if you'd rather have that look. Okay, now we're ready. So the first piece is going to be the dolly. So I'm going to place this piece here so I can decide where I want it. And I think I want it something like that. So I'm going to just hold it down with my hand. And I'm going to flip this side back and put some glue on the cardstock itself. And then do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Now, we can put this piece on, and you could make that another pocket if you wanted to. I'm not going to. But you could very easily. Alright, so then we're going to put this piece across and figure out where we're going to cut it off. Put right there. And then I want my flower to kind of be right there. So I'm going to glue this piece first. I'm going to use art glitter glue so I can get those little stems. Okay. Alright, now we can glue this piece down. I want to do it about right there. And again, you could glue this on as a belly band if you wanted. So you could stick something behind it. Still got that a little bit long, so we'll trim that off. I'm not worried about the leaves overhanging at the top a little bit. Doesn't bother me. Alright, so now we need to construct our little fence. So if this is our middle piece here, tear that off just a little bit, put that down. Oh, I don't want to do that. I want to put my German book page first, don't I? Caught myself. Okay. And then on the other side, make sure that I get those two somewhat even. Cut that off. All right, and then this piece is going to go in the middle. I don't care if I lose a little bit of that point at the bottom. Alright, so glue that on. I've got paint and ink and Tim Holtz crayons and everything else on my fingers today. Okay, now we can take our lock and put that on right in the middle, and I think I'm going to use 3-in-1 glue for that, Fabri-Tac, whatever you want to call it. Just because I'm not sure that art glitter glue would glue it. It might, but I know 3-in-1 will, so. Right, now we'll deal with our bird and our key. What I do with it this time. There they are. Could you see them? I think I want this one. Do I want it in his mouth? Beak? Or do I want it in his talons? And I guess, I don't know, do regular birds have talons or just feet? No, I can't get it in the right spot. It's driving me crazy. Wish I could hear you. If I had more room, I would definitely put it in his feet. Or holding it with his feet. But I don't have enough room because I'm going to put this in here so you can see where the end of the... You can see that I would lose quite a bit of his wing. So it would have to be that close. Where if I put it in his beak, I think you would want it this way probably. Okay, Tammy, let's fiddle with the key for an hour till we decide what we want to do here. I think I want it in his feet, even though it's going to be closer. I may just sacrifice some of the wing. All right, let's see if I can cut the 2 feet apart a little bit. Without tearing them off. All right, so I'm going to put his head. And actually, I could just leave the wing. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright, I'm going to lift this up so I can get this the way I want it. These little bitty keys like this are so fragile. I think I want it the other way. Like that. Okay, let me see if I can get that glued. At least a little bit. so it won't move until, okay. Oh, didn't work. Come on, dude. My little birdie's not cooperating. There we go. Alright, so now glue him down. Make sure I'm not gluing. All right. After a little bit of struggle with the key, I think we got it. And you could put more papers down in there too. I'm not going to worry about doing that right now because I don't know what journal I'm going to use it in. But, you know, you could very easily put more papers down in that if you wanted. More than just this journal card is what I'm saying. But there we go. There is our keyhole and aqua or teal. Next week we have, what do we have coming up? We have the shape of an arrow, and either coral or peach. They're both about in the same color family, so either one of those will work just fine. And then an arrow, which is fairly easy one in my opinion. So I hope you guys like that, and I will see you back for No Digitals Allowed tomorrow. Until then, everybody have a good evening. Bye.